Hello travelers and welcome to the first dev blog that actually gives us news for the upcoming cycle and even cycles, not only one. So this is the new roadmap for last Epoch for the upcoming cycles, right, for patch 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 and 1.4, which are basically the first 4 cycles. So hello travelers, we're thrilled to give you an early look at what's coming for last Epoch over the next few cycles. Let's check this one out. What do we see here? We have, first of all, cycle 1.1, so this is going to be basically like season 2, you could say. Oh well, I don't know, cycle 1.1, I guess. Not sure like what the nomenclature really is for them, but here we have face terrifying new monolith threats, harbingers and pinnacle bosses, or pinnacle boss, I guess it says, maybe only one. Whatever harbingers are going to be, maybe like some also hard bosses, just like not as hard as the pinnacle boss, but maybe like harder than Shade of Orbis or like harder than the dungeon bosses, we'll see. And then we have random nemesis encounters. Those of you familiar with the Grim Dawn game, you will definitely remember this one. And then we also have a evade a dodge roll mechanic, which also you remember from, well, Grim Dawn or Diablo 4 or Diablo 3 on console or even Wolfenstein. So yeah, trying to keep up with the new features of other ARPGs basically. Yeah. Then Cycle 2, I mean, pretty cool though, I think. It's great that they are adding more modern stuff to the game as well. Not like really unique, I feel like, or like really insanely creative, but definitely trying to keep up the pace here. 1.2, uncover the secrets of Terra's ancient past. Primal Hunt endgame events. So we're going on a, not eternal, but a primal hunt. And we have an ancient era story chapter and primordial uniques. Okay, so Ancient Era right now is very barren and very, I don't know, the last time they updated like Ancient Era seems like in ancient times. So Ancient Era definitely like needs new stuff, and this probably means it's gonna be like a chapter 10, right? So chapter 10 in the Ancient Era, and like Primal Hunt endgame events. I don't know, maybe this is similar to some kind of like bounties, or I mean we'll see, right? But it sounds kind of cool. We also have like primordial uniques. It's going to be like ancient primal legendaries from Diablo 3. I don't know, we'll see. Seems to be like, yeah, also connected to some kind of like endgame item upgrade system on top of what we currently have. Yeah, I mean, more content is nice for sure. Cycle 1.3, explore lost realities preserved in time. Okay, Monolith of Fate expansion. Okay, so this one is going to like focus on the monolith itself. Unique false echoes. Whatever those are. So like unique maps probably. Doing, I don't know, maybe like some new mechanics in those. And this seems to be like kind of like spider webby themed. New procedural side zones. Procedural, eh? Interesting. And then 1.4 is gonna be on skill trees, apparently, about skill trees. Unlock your skills through potential, introducing new skill sigils, new endgame bosses, transmog, and die system. The die system is pretty cool. I really love this in Diablo 3, honestly, like I really like this a lot. Can even see everything here. I really like die system Diablo 3 back in the day. Transmog. Wait, doesn't it already have a transmog system? I guess it's only, okay, so currently Let's Epoch only has a pay-to-transmog system, right, with the MTX, I guess. And this is going to give us a true transmog system, so you can like use all the items in the game, I assume, including a die system. I really like die systems, honestly, they can be really cool. Kind of missed that from Grim Dawn, for example. Or missed that in Grim Dawn, rather. This seems very vague though, honestly, like the 1.4 still. This seems like these two seem a bit more vague than like Cycle 1.1 and 1.2. And as you might know with like the roadmaps of last Epoch, they don't always like, you know, end up happening the same way as they're presented the first time, which is fine usually. But yeah, we'll see. The stuff looks pretty cool though. Okay, what else do we have? As always, the team here at EHG is dedicated to making the RPG of our dreams, and we all know that's a process that takes time, determination, commitment. As of this writing, we have brought on excellent new people, continue looking for more, and are developing new and exciting content faster than ever. Our roadmap continues to showcase that we have long-term plans for Epoch and its content, and we are excited to showcase it here today. Here's the thing about roadmaps though. We are striving to be one of the best and most community-centered game studios in the industry, and oftentimes the best laid plans of growers and gods need to change. While this could be for a variety of reasons, it's kind of like what I mentioned already, like earlier, right? Like sometimes these kind of like roadmaps, they do change slightly, and especially like the stuff that's like further down the roadmap is more likely to change than like the stuff up here. Like this is probably like already like locked in. This more or less as well, but these two seem a bit more vague for now, and might change further down the road. The primary one is you, the community. If we get feedback, they change stuff based on feedback. Yeah, they do actually, most of the time, that's true. Sometimes I feel like they do a good job with that. Sometimes I feel like they maybe even like listen too much to the community, or maybe like to the wrong people in there. But I mean, that's fine too, that's like part of the process. As each new cycle is released, we plan to collaborate with the community to let you know what's being worked on, listen to your feedback and suggestions for those plans, and continuously monitor how we can improve. I mean, that sounds great. Sometimes you just gotta like do stuff though as well. Sometimes you just gotta like fix the bugs, you know. Each of the items listed on the roadmap are just a few examples of key features we plan to introduce for that cycle, and do not represent the only things being worked on. Rest assured, the team is working harder and developing faster than before, while also expanding with many new team members to bring you the game you deserve and produce a whole host of other features we have planned beyond those listed on the roadmap. As we move forward to each new patch, we also plan to update our roadmap to keep you informed of our plans and any changes that may have been made based on feedback. Holy shit. We hear from the community. We plan to update the roadmap just after update 1.2 and again after update 1.4. Okay, so... This makes me think that maybe... just after 1.2. Okay, so everything up to 1.2 is locked in. I mean, as I presumed, right? These first two are basically locked in, and then we're gonna have like another one after 1.2, and then they're gonna basically like decide like, do they want to keep these two as they are, or do they want to like go in a different direction? Are they gonna get like more concrete with their plans or not? And then there's gonna be like another for every 2 cycles. Basically, they're gonna have like some potential changes to what their actual plans are. Lastly, development for 1.1 is coming along nicely, and we're excited to show you all of the great content balances, and last Epoch, maybe that's gonna finally happen. Bug fixes and endgame Pinnacle boss content coming along with it. Over the last few months, the community has started discussing cycles and how content is made available to both legacy and new cycle characters. Our current plan is for the 1.x series of patches. For the 1.x series of patches is to bring all content to offline, cycle and legacy realms, but we also believe in allowing cycle characters a small bit of time to attempt new Pinnacle content before extremely well geared and optimized legal legacy characters have a chance to showcase just how fast they can conquer it. Okay, so they're saying that all the content will get to legacy, like will come to legacy, but they might delay some of the content for legacy, right? Like for example, the Pinnacle content, it very much sounds like this is going to be the first content that's going to like release basically early, or like release on time rather, for cycle characters, like when the cycle starts, but it's going to be like made available to legacy characters at a later point. Whether that later point is like with cycle 1.2 or at some point during cycle 1.1, they don't specify here, but it very much sounds like they're going to delay some of the content, like for example the Pinnacle boss, for legacy characters here. Yeah, okay, I mean, I get it. I mean, you might not like it or like it, I don't know. Leave your thoughts below, or like comment in this post, of course. That is, I guess, certainly a talking point, a discussion point that you could talk about, right? For sure, for sure. And yeah, for refresher, existing cycle characters will be moved to legacy at the beginning of a new cycle. Creating new cycle characters will give everyone an even playing field with an economy reset and the need to re-roll a separate character. Cycle is also where people may compete on that cycle's leaderboard. Yeah, I mean, of course, like always, cycles can be like fresh economy, right? Fresh leaderboard, etc., etc. Right. With that said, we would love to hear from you about our current proposed plans. Please take a few minutes. It is 4 questions to help us continue to grow with our community. Link to the poll, right? You can poll here, like vote here, voice your opinion here, I guess. Thank you for amazing support thus far, fellow travelers, and we look forward to seeing you once again in the world of Iterra. And yeah, here's like a dodge roll mechanic post. Right, we're happy to see all discussion regarding the new evade mechanic we're planning to include in 1.1. We have noticed that discussions can be hard to have without the full details about the new mechanic. As such, we're posting a breakdown of the current implementation that we are internally testing here to help with this discussion. Evade is a new universal movement ability for characters from level 1. For those of you that are playing Grim Dawn, this might sound very, very familiar, right? This is a new tool to add onto your existing tool belt. We expect this to be a fun new mechanic that opens up new opportunities and spices up combat. Default button seems to be space, but of course you can rebind that to whatever you would like to, I would assume. Okay, so details. No damage immunity, no iframes. This is, for example, different from Grim Dawn, right? In Grim Dawn you do have iframes. In this game you will not have iframes on this evade. What are you actually evading then? Okay, new action button, space by default, right? Controller button B on Xbox, blah, blah, blah. Does not use any of the other 5 action bar slots. I mean, it would be hilariously bad if it would. Cooldown is 4 seconds with 2 charges. That sounds good to me. Increased cooldown recovery speed with a level though. So you get 50% CDR at level 50, so you have like 2-second cooldown. With 2 charges at 100. Okay, that's quite a lot of evading, I would say. It is affected by the increased... Wait, hold on. It is affected by global CDR as well. Interesting. You can get like really fucking low then. That sounds interesting. At level 100 with 50, 100... Oh, wait. Right, it's... You can't get it to 0, right? It's... Yeah, it's multiplicative. So if you have like... if you are level 100, right? It's actually more like... so you have 4 seconds by default, right? And then it's basically this. So if you have 50% CDR, it's actually more like... Wait. How is it? I mean, it's basically like 25% less, right? 25% less. And if you have like 100%, it's divided by 2. Etc, etc. Like you can't like ever hit 0, right? It's always... Okay, it's always the amount of CDR you have, right? Divided by 100 plus the CDR you have. So if you're 100, it's 50 divided by 150. And this is your reduction. Wait, what's the formula for this? Okay, I'm too big to figure it out right now. It's too early for me. But yeah, it basically works something like that. Like you can't ever get to like 0 seconds, right? Yeah. This cooldown is independent. It is not shared with traversal skills. Okay, so you can have like teleport and evade, and it's not gonna like put teleport on a cooldown. Charges recharge sequentially, not simultaneously. Makes sense. No skill tree for evade may have triggers or other mechanics tied to them through items / other skills, passive trees, and possibly new sources in the future too. Okay, so there are not gonna be like any items or passive trees for evade right now, but maybe in the future. And the travel speed, not distance of the evade, but the travel speed will increase with movement speed. And haste also affects the speed of evade. That's kind of nice. It's roughly 80% of Rogue's Dash. Rogue's Dash is pretty far, honestly. Let's see how it looks like in game. Oh, okay, it's an actual roll. Okay. Interesting. It looks kind of nice. The animation is not bad. We are constantly working to improve the underlying gameplay systems. This is a feature that we have considered for years. In the past, we've gone so far as to prototype it, but the game wasn't quite ready for it. Or maybe it wasn't like meta to have some certain ability in like the RPG universe yet. Our intention with this version is focused around fun and feel. Evade brings a bump in battlefield mobility and enables new playstyles to flourish. With this mix of cooldown duration, charges, speed, and need to use, we feel that evade is usually available when you want it and you aren't just using it on cooldown. One of the goals of this new availability is to make traversal skills feel like less of a necessity and more of a build decision. We expect that the majority of builds will continue to use traversal abilities alongside evade. This new option will open up some new builds that were previously too clunky to shine due to the limited battlefield risk positioning you could do. For example, pure summoning builds or maybe a shapeshift build, shapeshift form that needs a little extra mobility. Yeah, like for example Spriggan form, right? Evade is going to be very nice for Spriggan form. Druids. Or shamans. We also want to have the freedom to design harder and more dynamic boss encounters. Some new boss mechanics should heavily benefit from being able to get out of danger quickly. In the past, most players take a traversal ability, however, not all do. This means that we have not been able to design encounters or abilities that too strongly encourage a movement burst, as it would force players to have a traversal ability in their limited ability loadout. So yeah, I mean, also this gives you like a lot more freedom also like when choosing your abilities, because in the past you really only wanted to not play a traversal skill if you're playing like a Spriggan form druid, because you literally couldn't, but otherwise pretty much every single build wanted to have at least like one traversal skill in there in some way or form, unspec'd or spec'd. But now I feel like more builds could skip a traversal skill if they wanted to, depending on the build. And then use like just like on the evade itself. Of course, like evade and traversal skill is still better mobility than like just evade, but the gap is gonna be tightened, that's for sure. Also, this probably indicates that the new Pinnacle boss is gonna have some mechanics that will require like good timing on evade, right? Adding evade allows us to design encounters knowing that all characters have access to move out of danger quickly. This does not mean that every fight will exclusively focus on fast reaction one-shot mechanics. Yeah, no, but like the Pinnacle boss will have something like that for sure, right? Maybe not like one-shot, but you know, I mean, to be honest, like even something like Julra, right, was already kinda, well, if you didn't press the button to time shift, I mean, you had like enough time for that, but if you didn't press the button, you would most of the time just like die to the slam. Unless your character was like really giga gear or like just an OP build. This is another tool that you can use to make new styles of boss fights. The degree to which evade is encouraged to be used in boss fights will be varied to fit the mechanics of that individual fight. While we're finding many previously designed encounters that do benefit from this new mechanic, we will continue to update previous encounters with slight mechanic updates that may benefit from the use of evade if it fits with that particular boss encounter. I mean, honestly, all of that sounds pretty nice, right? It sounds pretty cool. Let's check out the Pinnacle content as well. Like the poll here. This might be a holy fucking flashbang. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah, let's make it a bit smaller, maybe like this. Okay, so hello travelers, blah 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 blah. Right, cool. Question 1: how do you feel about a small delay between releasing the Pinnacle boss to offline and legacy realms so that players have an even playing field for attempting this content during launch? I don't know, how do you feel, chat? Honestly, the thing is, it's kind of like content gating for cycles. And even playing field for attempting this content during launch. I mean, isn't it always gonna be even in a way? Also, like, don't legacy characters, like, they're like not in any ladder anyway. I mean, that said, like, do you get like ladder points for doing Pinnacle bosses? You don't, right? Like, it's only all about arena. So, I mean, if you don't get anything anyway, do they really have to delay it? I don't even know, man. I'm honestly kind of undecided on this. If we do go with the proposed plan from question 1 as a failsafe, we would want to have a time-delayed action that releases the bosses, regardless of whether someone has cleared it or not. This prevents the content from being locked inadvertently. If we do go with the proposed plan from question 1 as a failsafe, we would want to have a time-delayed action that releases the boss regardless of whether somebody has cleared it or not. What does this mean apart from them just like having a fixed time after which it gets released? Wait, why would you not do this anyway? I think this is stupid, releasing the boss after it has been cleared once. Like, what if like nobody like clears it ever? That's just stupid. I don't know. And okay, like if you go with this, then I think like a week maybe, or maybe like two. I think like a week maybe. Please note that the proposed times would have to have the caveat of happening on the next available business day. Wait, you're not working on Sundays? What do you mean? Hashtag lazy devs? Okay, I think like 1 week after cycle start sounds good to me if you do content like if you gate content like this. If we go with the proposed plan from question A, what is the shortest amount of time after the Pinnacle boss has been cleared before it unlocks for all game modes? Wait, they should just have like a fixed time anyway. Like, doesn't matter like who clears it or not. I don't understand why it has to be like dependent on like people having cleared it already. To be honest, I think it should just be like fixed and that's it. So people can like plan around like playing new content on legacy mode on that day, and not be like dependent on other people clearing the content or not. Like, I don't even want to answer this because I didn't choose this one. I just want like 1 week after cycle start and that's it. If you go with us. Always wait for the time chosen. I guess this option, right? Always wait for the time limit chosen in question 2. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Question 4. Is there a specific game mode within Cycle Online that should be preferable to the unlocking condition? Any game mode, online hardcore, online soft solo, online hardcore solo. Wait, why are they asking us these questions? Is there a specific game mode within Cycle Online that should be preferable to the unlocking condition? Okay, so like the unlocking condition they're talking about is somebody else like defeating the Pinnacle boss, right? And what? I'm not even sure if I can understand this question. Is there a specific game mode within Cycle Online that should be preferable to the unlocking condition? What? Isn't that like unlocked on all cycle modes anyway? Like, what? And they're only talking about like locking it for non-cycle? I have no fucking idea. Or like they're talking about like if somebody has okay. I think they're talking about like in which of these modes should the player have defeated the Pinnacle boss in the cycle, which then triggers the unlockment of that content in non-cycle. But I think that's a stupid idea anyway, so this question just makes no sense to me. But if, I guess then any game mode? Yeah. Honestly, I do not mind the delay that much, personally. I think it's not a bad idea, but like it should be like a fixed time, and that's it. Like, I don't know. But honestly, like I personally also wouldn't mind not having it locked in Legacy either. So I'm just gonna like put whatever the middle, I guess. But yeah, keep in mind to vote here, guys. Okay, overall, very interesting update. Sounds promising. We'll see if it actually if the devs will deliver and if like evade and everything will feel good. It sounds pretty cool though. It sounds pretty cool. I'm kind of hyped. Yeah, let me know what you think about this, and I'll see you around on the next one. Thanks for watching.